Something that's really interesting in terms of the religious experience. And there's an old line from Socrates that I often use, and he talked about the idea of wonder. And it's really where I want to begin with you today as I think upon this experience in religion. The idea of that experience of the mysterious is where we're heading to, which is really an interesting point in religious thought. It's one of those fascinating parts that when you think about it, it really has to do with the experience of religion. And notice what I'm saying here, because this is where I want you to work with me in your thinking today. The experience of religion, or what makes religion. So here's a thought. So when I say I'm a spiritual person, when I say I'm a religious individual, across all cultures, all religions, all peoples, all time periods, that aspect of being religious or spiritual, that idea is an experience that you and I have if we are of a religious or spiritual bent. Because a lot of thinkers have looked to the experience of the divine, or whatever we're encountering in religion, to be the force, the part that really makes it what it is. Without it, you don't really have anything. Now, just think about what I'm telling you there. If it's purely something that to be rationalized, so the religious experience, the experience of spirituality, the experience of what it is to be religious, is not it doesn't center upon it being rational. It doesn't center upon it being figure-outable completely. Something I can put down points 1, 2, and 3, because it's an experience of something far beyond what my mind can even hold. Listen, that it holds this power to mesmerize you, to captivate you, to grab hold of your emotions, to be something that you cannot completely wrap your mind around and explain. Just, that's it. If you could fully wrap your mind around what you're believing in, then you are almost as good as it. If you can contain, here's the thought. It's a beautiful thought. If I can contain God and fully explain God, then God is not bigger than me. But where faiths are started, where religions are started, where spirituality or spiritual viewpoints of life are started, is in this mesmerizing experience that we know for certain that it happens, but we cannot wrap our minds fully on that which we are beholding. Right there, that's the most powerful point that I can give to you today, and that's where it gets everything started. It cascades from that one beautiful point that I cannot hold what I'm experiencing, but that is its power, that's its grip. So follows this idea of wonder that Socrates had. that Socrates was actually looking at the love of wisdom as a religious way of life. And through the pen of Plato, his student, he comes alive, and he has shown, Plato's thought is there too, that philosophy, this love of wisdom, is a religious way of life. But at the center point of wisdom, said Socrates, that wonder is the touchstone of the philosopher. Wonder, the wonder of it all, the wonder at the mystery of it all, is the touchstone of the philosopher. What does he mean? Watch it. To wonder at the mystery of it all, the mysteriousness of everything. To wonder, to inquire, to consider, to ponder, to let our minds go there and look at it, observe it. It's far beyond what we can take in our minds, but it still doesn't release us from this awesomeness of wonder. And that is then the touchstone that the lover of wisdom uses to find the gold. Wow, this is so good in life. That's the reason you cannot remove the sense of the mysterious out of the religious or spiritual nature of life, nor if you remove that away from religion and make it just completely rational, you're gutting it with its very power. This divinum mysterium et fascinans, let's unpack this because it describes something. It describes the divine experience, shall we say. I experienced the divine experience, the experience of that which is divine. That's the phrase that they use. Let's unpack it. Now, let's talk about it. So something that is mysterious, and your book says tremendous. I like the word mysterious. A divine that is mysterious and fascinating all at the same time. Now let me show you something about wonder. This is really cool. When I wonder at something, there are two meanings to wonder. What are they? When I wonder at something, there are two, I'd almost call them meanings or experiences with wonder that we can have. What are they, in your thoughts? Divinum mysterium et fascinans. So you want to ponder it, but you're in awe of it too. What's another way we can look at this? Maybe a little bit more charged. I would say emotionally, but I would say it's got some punch to it. What would it be? Like, what would be the two I'm thinking? I'm not trying to say that you're trying to guess my thinking, but what's another way we can look at wonder? So let me give you this, because that's interesting. There's two ideas of wonder. There's two feelings. There's two forces going on. One is to be bowled back. One is to like, wow, gee, Merry Christmas. It's just like it's wondrous. As Seth said, it's awesome. It's just awe-inspiring, almost to the place, like Chandon, you said, it humbles us. It just like, not the word demean, but it puts you down to your knees. Like it's like you think your big stuff. Check this out, and it's like, whoa, like that. See that? So it's like the power above you that can humble you, that can drive you down to the ground, that makes you into a mere creature, that just allows you to know and forces you to know you are finite. You are animated dust. That's what it makes you feel like. Like look at a star. When you look at the stars, right? Tonight, if you go out and you look, I'm trying to think of how you could look and see it. If you find Cassiopeia up in the sky, Cassiopeia, right? Cassiopeia looks like a W. That's the constellation Cassiopeia. You'll see it. It looks like a W turned on its side. It's like a zigzag. It's the constellation Cassiopeia. So if you look north, like kind of north to northeast, depending on where you are and what time of night that you go out there. But if you go early on in the night, say about 10 o'clock tonight, right? And the sky's clear, look up into the sky and find the constellation Cassiopeia. Just find that zigzag. That's Cassiopeia. Follow your first point, the top point, right? Top point will point like I'm looking out where I'm facing. So if you're looking up at the north, like turn around like this. If this is the north and I find Cassiopeia up here, right? And you got this top point, right? It's pointing eastward. And if you have a pair of binoculars, if you look away from that point just a little bit, you're going to find what looks like a light smudge, like somebody had taken light and made like a little circle and smudged it. That smudge, if you have powerful enough binoculars, which are pretty easy to get, a lot of people have them, if you look through there, you'll see that little light smudge. And if you find it, that's the Andromeda Galaxy, our closest neighbor. 2.5 million light years away. That light that you're seeing right now was created 2.5 million light years away from where we are today. 2.5 million years ago, that light that you're seeing was created. And it's just now getting here. Do you know what we were 2.5 million light years away? 2.5 million years ago, do you know what we were? We certainly weren't what we are today. We didn't even know. I mean, that's the ancestor of the ancestors, man. We don't even know what we were like. We were nothing like we are today. And if that's not humbling, I don't know what is to you. Did you think, we think we're so great, so powerful, so beautiful. We've got we are the creators, aren't we? We're the top of the list. Nope. Think of all the people that have died in 2.5 million years. Nah. That light's been coming for 2.5 million years and just getting to you. And you think you're something. That's what I think. I look at that and I'm going to tell you my own experience of that. Mind blow. I just sit there and just, my mouth, I think if my mouth was, if I probably noticed myself, it's probably, like what am I? But there's this other experience that I have with wonder that draws me into that beauty. And that's what Seth was saying. Enables me, empowers me, makes me desire to ponder it. So, watch. Not only am I going this way away from it, like it's blowing me away, but man, I'm wanting to look at it because it is fascinating. That right there is the experience of the religious life, the spiritual life, and it is found in all of the religions, bar none. Bar none. You're looking at the very aspect of what is their heartbeat. Without it, religion is nothing but just something silly. With it, it nails us. And without it, said Einstein, without that sense of mystery, we're good as dead. And he said, if you think that I'm a religious man, I'm not a religious man in following the current religions that we have that he says are based on fear. And I think he's right about that. I think that there's a lot of fear to them. And I don't mean to teach this so forcefully to you, but I feel impassioned by it. If you can get hold of this idea, it will empower you. It will drive your knowledge deeper, and you will have an understanding that you've never had before. It will transform your way of looking at the religious and spiritual life across the board. And then he says, as I read on Tuesday, this fantastic quote, but if you talk about mystery as being the bastion from which all art and science and religion arises, I love that mystery. And I am a devoutly religious man, if that's what you're talking about. Let me read that line again, because I love this line. He says this, that feeling of mysteriousness, he said, is at the center of what he calls true religiousness. True religiousness. Then he writes these words. He's Albert Einstein. In this sense, and in this sense only. In this sense, and this sense only. I belong in the ranks of devoutly religious men. And you tell me if that's not powerful, what I'm giving you. And he's telling you the same thing. That's power. Enough that even Albert Einstein can be moved in his heart. Man, it's almost like I'm in a court of law. I rest my case, right? See, it's that powerful. That's the reason you need to pay attention to it. That's the reason. And if you think that this doesn't mean anything to me, man, God, this is so boring, my God, you're not paying attention. And that's what Albert Einstein says too. If it's not mysterious for you, when you walk up under the stars and look at nature and look at the world around you and look into the face of the divine and the eternal, something that is bigger than you, and you don't find mystery there, then you, in his words, are as good as dead. You're done. It's over. You're not even thinking. You're not even alive. But come alive. Come with that power of and that glorious thought. Man, when I was talking that with Gage, how that is simply beyond our comprehension. Now that is at the heartbeat of all religious thought. You cannot comprehend it. It doesn't mean it's not real. It just means you can't hold it. And if you think, well, that doesn't mean anything, there is no science that can really comprehend what happened if you take the Big Bang Theory, there is no scientist alive that will say, I completely understand. I mean, we can't. It's beyond our comprehension. It doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean we can't think about it, we can't discover it, can't ponder truths about it. It just means we can't hold it all. That's all this means. That's what Einstein was saying. And when that is alive within us, man, that is powerful. That's what moves us. That's what humbles us. Man, I love that. I can't say enough about it. And you need to understand it. That's the reason you're here today. You're spending your time to be with me in this course, and I want you to get something that's really powerful for you to see. So begin to ponder that. That is the source of your spirituality. That's the source of your humanity, that religious nature within you, because you comprehend that. You get that. See, I can't, unless you knew about wonder, you wouldn't even understand one thing about what I was talking about. You would not get it at all. But because you're nodding your head and you're getting what I'm talking about is because you too are a wanderer. You too have that religious impulse. You get it. This is the Bhagavad Gita. This is the prophet Isaiah, the most quoted prophet in all of the New Testament. How about that one? That's fascinating, isn't it? Now you're starting to think. See, now you're starting to get it. Now you're getting a hold of some truths that you can now listen to somebody who might be of a different spiritual nature than you, or spiritual belief, or a religion, or something, or no religion at all, but you can still hear their the spirituality of them as they speak, because it's there. Now, some people might question that. I've never been spiritual. I've always been a rational individual. I have nothing. Come on, man. You don't. You got to have some mystery about you. Love it. Love it. I've got a great quote coming up for you that comes from the great Native American writer Oyesa, who's going to say the similar things. I'm going to have you read it, but I'm going to wait for the crescendo because I want to leave with that thought. Now, any questions on that part right there? I want to share something with you here, carrying on from this, that you can read for yourself, but I want to give you some highlights on this. Is everybody getting this? Is this understandable where we're at? We good with this? Any questions? You got this understanding of things. All right, perfect. I'm glad that you do. Now, some people might challenge you if you went away from the class and you say something like, well, you know, we were talking about mystery and we cannot comprehend it, and it's Divinum Mysterium et Fascinans. They might say, come on, man. Come on. Just wave you off like that. Don't let that happen. I'm not saying commit yourself to an argument right there on the spot, but don't let that wave of the hand like that's nothing get you, because that wave of the hand right there, I'm going to challenge. I might be a little bit challenging when I say this. I'll go ahead and be challenging because, I mean, I'm a rebel. I like to teach what I want to teach, and I'm going to tell you what I want to say because it's the truth. If you give me a waved hand on that stuff, you don't even understand what you're waving away. That's what I would say. You don't even get it. You don't even know what you're waving away about. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Of course it makes sense. Of course it makes sense. I mean, you can't have any knowledge without it. We look with wonder. Hey friend, good to see you today, and I'm glad that you're here. We've been enjoying some thoughts from the class. This is from the Thoughts in Religion. Hopefully it's something that we can use and something I appreciate you being a part of. Thank you for being a part of the course today and in learning and watching the video. Have a beautiful day. I'm Darren Newman. Thank you.